Wendell, this will be the last one.
Yay! Hi, Wendell.
So Reshi said, I don't say this to be edgy or disrespectful. I just genuinely feel like the world would be a better place without religion. I mean, see that whole thing earlier about how Christian apologetics leads to modern day genocide apologetics? That's kind of where I'm at this point. Like, I am now at a point where if somebody tells me that they're a Christian, I'm assuming that they're a bad person until they tell me otherwise.
Like,
they show me otherwise through their actions.
Like, I can agree with the sentiment of the statement, but the problem is that it feels like it only exists in a world where there are Abrahamic religions. Like, that's all that exists. Because, like, you can have religions that just kind of naturally outcrop themselves from habits and culture.
Has been happy to see Wendell.
Well, because Wendell means I get to piss.
Uh-huh.
But, like, there are religions that can just, not spontaneously, but like over time of a society practicing a certain set of traditions over time, these things kind of get morphed into a religion. That can happen. So like there's never going to be a world where you can fully eliminate these things, but most cultures having habits that end up coalescing into a religion doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the mandate to expand, which is what Islam and Christianity have. They have a mandate to expand, and that's why you get wars as a result of them.
Yeah. And but Wendell's response to this, of course, is that the atheistic communist death toll in just 1 century far exceeds the cumulative death tolls from all religious wars in the history of man.
You're talking about the Black Book of Communism, the one that says that 100 million people died as the death toll in it, and the death toll that's shown in the Black Book of Communism is actually an inflated death toll, and it was one of the main criticisms of that book by the peers and even people who tried to help edit it. But the main author...
Cyrus, you're putting way too much effort into this.
Yeah?
You can be defeated with 2 little words.
Yeah?
Per capita. What percentage of the world's population was wiped out by the atheistic communist regimes as compared to the percentage of the world population that was wiped out by the 30 Years' War?
How many people died in the 30 Years' War?
A lot. It was like... It was, by percentage of population, it was by far the deadliest war in human history, maybe with the exception of World War II.
Curses! Defeated by per capita again!
Uh-huh. So, like, yeah, there's that whole thing, and then there's also the thing of, like, the atheist regimes were not killing in the name of atheism, and they were trying to replace religion with worship of the state, like, of a sort.
Like, a lot of that was Stalin going, I don't like you guys having power, and therefore I'm going to strip it away from you. Which kind of, like, it's not the first time we've seen that happen, because, like, the reason that the King James Bible exists at all was for a similar reason, right? It was a way to maintain power. He just wanted to maintain power through having people keep their religion, which is a very Roman tradition, and whereas Stalin wanted it to be purely, like, atheistic, but it wasn't the atheism that made him a shitbag. It was, you know, being a totalitarian dictator.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So defeated by per capita and by having a basic understanding of nuance, as well as all that Black Book of Communism stuff that you were getting into, where the death tolls were largely inflated. But, like, it's also, is that the one where, like, it's hard to parse the deaths from,
well, like,
when people starve to death in the middle of a famine.
Yeah, it attributes
and that
deaths
famine was partly caused by, like, the communist regime having Lysenkoism being their thing.
Yeah.
Like, how much, like, a famine probably would have happened then anyways. So how many of those deaths do you attribute to just the natural famine, and how much do you attribute to the communist regime? That's a really hard calculation to do.
Man, the AI overview is so bad. It is so bad. Holy shit. So I just wanted to Google for a quick thing. How many people died due to capitalism? And the AI overview says, estimates regarding deaths linked to capitalism vary widely, with some analysis suggesting over 100 million deaths in the 20th century due to colonial wars, famines, and conflicts. Other studies focusing on broader definitions suggest over 158 million from wars and violence since the Russian Revolution. I feel like
that's the Black Book of Communism numbers.
It literally cites the Black Book of Capitalism.
Oh.
Like, which I
it's coming for our jobs, Cyrus.
But like that, so the Black Book of Capitalism is a thing. It was made in 1998. I believe this was a thing that was made as a, it was published 1 year after the Big Black, or after the Big Black Book. The Black Book of Communism was published 1 year after that.
Mind is. We know what Cyrus was Googling before the stream.
Let's see here. Oh,
like
okay.
BBC stands for Big Black Communist Book.
Let's see here. So apparently I didn't know this book existed. I feel like I should have known this book existed, but this book attributes, so actually no, the AI overview was correct in this case, because it starts pointing out all of the different ways that people have died as a direct result of capitalism, whether it be like the imperialist regimes that have come out as a result of us trying to get fucking oil, or, you know, people dying because they've not been able to afford food when we didn't have food scarcity, shit like that. It uses the same techniques to come to a number that is well over like 150 million, and it doesn't try to go for that number, apparently. Apparently, the primary goal of the book was to comprise a series of independent works from various writers who each voiced their independent critiques on various aspects of capitalism. It just so happened that it got to a bigger number than the Black Book of Communism. Huh. I didn't know this thing existed. I feel like I should have known this thing existed.
Okay, well, now you got something to add to your reading list.
Yay! After I get done with all of the Halo books, of which I now know there are 36.
Yeah, I would not be reading all of that. Okay, so that's the end of the stream. Are you streaming after this? After you pee?
So I'm doing 2 streams after this, actually. The first one is going to be in the pisser.
Pee. Yeah.
And then, yes, I do have one more topic that I want to cover before the day is out, and I will be doing that when I get back.
I shall raid you then. So, thanks for joining me, and as always, fuck off.
Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitta, you know I'm not saying that last part, Sylvie Snow, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.